Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I'm thrilled to be with you all today and to talk about the future of wearables. The Copernic collaboration that we did just a few months ago was really exciting, merging AI and a LAN party and bringing that to the fashion runway. We're really bridging this gap between fashion, your everyday life, and technology. And it's been unbelievable to see the consumer reaction over the past 19 months since we launched these glasses. I'm going to talk about the future of wearables, and before I do that, I want to start with a little bit of a story, actually a little bit of a hand pull. So, show of hands, who's been to a Disney theme park? All right, keep those up. What about a safari? No, keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. What about maybe my hometown in New York? And how often did you or someone you saw, you put the hands down, did you see someone experiencing one of those three incredible, and there are obviously so many other incredible opportunities, people walking around like this? Photo, anyone? Yeah, right? I was here 12 years ago for the first time, and I had an incredible week. The weather was a little bit nicer. I got to see the bridge, I got to see the Opera House, I got to do the Coogee Walk, but I walked around the entire time like this. And I have to be honest, the memories just don't stick the same way versus really bringing it in through your eyes and living in the moment. And so now, just 36 hours into my trip, second time to Australia, seeing it allows me to form much richer memories. But I also get to capture those too. So I get to bring the memories back with me. I also get to do so much more, and I'll talk about some of these examples, particularly with the advent of AI in glasses. So how did we get here? I want to rewind a little bit. In the 1950s, mainframe computers really began revolutionizing how people were able to show up every day. Show up to work, get a lot of information, I mean a very little bit of information compared to today, but get a lot of information and do things with that. Compute that, run math problems, optimize your business. And it got so interesting that there was a demand to be able to bring that home. And that led to the advent of the PC. PCs were great. They took like 9 minutes to go load, right? They had like next to no user interface. We were learning how to use mice and things like that. And it was nice, but if one person was on that PC, no one else in your household was able to use it. Or if you maybe needed to go somewhere, like you were kind of out of luck. And so that led to the laptop, right? That became way more personal. Obviously, you're able to transport it around. Unfortunately, probably that led to a lot of people bringing work home with them. Pros and cons of technology. And so that was great. But again, it's kind of limited. And we know where this has gone, right? We have the advent of the smartphone. The smartphone allowed us to stay in touch with people in a way that you couldn't stay in touch previously. BBM, maybe playing Brick Breaker. And then you have the advent of GPS and cameras, and of course, full-fledged mobile internet. And we've been able to stay connected and do things like Instagram or order an Uber or infinite other AI opportunities that we've never been able to do before. And this has really happened in a relatively short period of time. But it's about 20 years between these, and we think we're at this next moment in time. You're limited by having this in your pocket. If I want to ask a question, I have to pull it out. If I want to engage with this, I need to disengage from you or the moment that I'm in. And so as much as smartphones have become ingrained into the facet of our lives, they've also pulled us away from the things that are most important in our lives. And so think about the superpowers you can gain if you go beyond kind of the smartphone you understand today. Maybe never losing your keys again, because you could ask a question of, where are my keys? And it's, on the brown table next to a coffee cup that says, have a great day. Or maybe you're in a market and you're able to barter or negotiate with someone or learn more about the artist or the creator who's selling you the item because you're doing live translation. Or maybe you're walking around and you want to learn more about these awesome buildings, signs, people, cultures. Or you're just being inspired by the endless possibilities. This fundamentally changes when we change the form factor that's available to us to do our computing, to really live our lives. And so we see wearables really driving this next step and this next change in technology. It's a computing platform that's now not tucked away or stuck to a desk or maybe even taking up the size of this room. But it's with you. It hears what you hear if you want it to. It sees what you see if you want it to. And it gives you superpowers that you never realized could exist before. And we just heard the last panel talking about creative tools, right, that unlock. Imagine bringing that into your everyday, all day in new form factors that feel effortless and natural. So Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses are our first major effort here. We're combining iconic Ray-Ban style with world-class technology. I'm wearing our limited edition Clears. We saw people were so excited by the technology that consumers were asking us to see more of it. These are our brand new Skylers that we actually just launched a couple of days ago. And we have a wide range of styles in between. Again, merging style and technology. We've sold over 2 million devices already, and people are loving the open-air audio to be able to listen to music or maybe listen to a podcast while you're multitasking doing something else. The crisp mic, there's a nose mic, it is by far the best device for phone calls that you've used. The POV cameras, we heard our creators talk about that, we'll talk about it a bit more. And in the burgeoning AI use cases. So how do I use mine? What are some of these examples? Well, maybe I go for a run and I want to listen to a specific podcast or a playlist on Spotify. Or I'm opening my fridge and I'm like, hey Meta, what can I make with these ingredients? And it's looking at what's in there and pulling those things together. Or maybe I need a pick-me-up at the end of the day and I want to find a coffee shop that's nearby. One of the fun ones that I was talking about at lunch with some people is holding up a bottle of wine and holding up a menu and asking for a recommendation of the best dish that goes with this wine. And the possibilities are endless. Standing at a museum and looking at the curator's note on the wall and asking Meta AI to summarize this for you. And so often I'm learning about how other people are using it just by trying it. And so our goal is to get these into the hands of as many people as possible, to learn more how they get value from it and continue to evolve our roadmap over time. We've ended 2024 by being on Oprah's gift list, Messi just showing up, wearing them to practice. And we're going to build on this momentum in 25, starting with the Super Bowl in the US, Copernic, big in France, and just last week we expanded to JB Hi-Fi and Harvey Norman in Australia, which we're really excited about. And so I want to give you a little bit of a peek. It's convenient that in our Super Bowl ad we used a pretty notable Aussie. So I'm going to give you a peek into a bunch of the creative that you're going to be seeing over the next couple of weeks.
Hey Meta, play my gallery music. Hey Meta, tell me about this artist.
Urs Fischer is known for his unconventional work.
Should we touch it? Hold it like that. Hey Meta, film this. Get in it, don't be shy. What? Oh no. Hey Meta, delete that video.
Share one more.
There you are. I'm looking all over for you.
Can't take my eyes off it, it's absolutely captivating.
Hey Meta, translate that.
Which one of you is real?
There's writing up there. Kind of ruins it.
They were a lot of fun to be on set, particularly Hemsworth, really drove the humor. So after spending 10 years on Meta's ads business, I know really well that consumers don't segment their lives into brand moments and not branded moments. These are integrated. You're interacting with brands all day long, every day. And the more you're wearing AI glasses, we're going to see that the behavior change that happens in our daily lives are going to intersect all the things that you're trying to achieve day in, day out with your brands. And so there are countless moments for a brand to influence, amplify, and improve our lives. And these only become supercharged with the glasses that we have available. So we'll look at 3 use cases, from moments of pure discovery to times when we're learning more, and then even the post-purchase experience. First, discovery moments. Think about traveling, kind of the same format. We went from guidebooks and maps to cameras and phones, and now if you're going out and traveling with your glasses, right, you're in a moment where you're in tune with your surroundings, you want to learn more, you're more susceptible to kind of being open-minded. And now you have this expert companion that's with you wherever you go, whenever you go. And so what changes for brands? Well, people are going to discover brands in moments that you probably couldn't have before. Awareness will be driven by proximity and maybe by relevance. And so I think about the situations where people are showing up and where your brand can play a natural role. Be additive into these organic environments of travel. Maybe there are problems your brand can solve that have been limited today based on the way people are interacting. Second, these crucial decision moments that you all know extremely well. We move from coupons and digital deals to now, again, getting this information at your fingertips, potentially at shelf. Decisions are made easier, they're made smarter, they're made faster. They're probably going to be way more personalized too, knowing what you purchased before, knowing what your habits are, right? And surfacing it to you actually at times when you need it most. And so think about product information and pricing and reviews that are accessible at different moments in time, how you can structure that and deliver that to consumers wherever and whenever they need to be. The way people understand your products are going to be more natural and more contextual, again, like having a personal shopper with you. And I think you see the theme here of this personalization and this always-on moment that's really going to transform. Finally, cooking's this really experiential moment. We're going to dive into cooking in just a little bit with Andy, right? And we've had cookbooks, we've had laptops, we've had phones. But now you have these communities and groups and creators. They're telling you so much more, right? And there's this collaboration between food and showing up. And it's also pretty good because your hands are usually pretty dirty. And so if you need to know what item to replace in your recipe or what the next step is to repeat back to you, it's a great form factor for that. And so they become a muse for any experience. When you think about these post-purchase experiences, AI glasses can guide you through, providing you instructions, giving you step-by-steps, allowing you to be part of a community or a relationship in ways that they weren't there before. Consumers are going to learn about your products and be able to even feed that back by having these glasses on day in and day out, and new value that wasn't previously possible. But that's just the beginning. Back at MetaConnect in September of this year, we introduced a product called Orion. And Orion is this really pinnacle of where we're going. This is a bit of a peek into the future. But I want to, before I go there, just what are the steps to getting there? So we talked about AI glasses without display, and it's really fashion first. We'll move to AI glasses with these small displays. Think almost your smartwatch display kind of sitting over here, giving you lightweight tips, tricks, information, being able to respond quickly to messages, lightweight navigation. And this continuum of development goes all the way to the end where you have full AR glasses, where AI and AR come together to tell stories and really give you a full computing experience that can be with you throughout your day. And this has been really hard. We started about 10 years ago and have had many prototypes. None look anything like a pair of glasses. They don't even look as good as a Quest device, which is not a pair of glasses either. And there were these major trade-offs. You have weight, you have brightness, you have battery life, you have thermal computing. We're trying to fit a computer into a pair of glasses. And not just a computer, like a supercomputer into a pair of glasses. And that part was non-negotiable. They had to become a pair of glasses. Because if they're not glasses, you're not going to wear them. And if you're not going to wear them, they had no value. And so up until a few months before launch, we thought there was only a 10% chance of being successful and making the product reality, but our engineering teams were able to do it. And this was Orion. We believe Orion is the most advanced pair of AI glasses ever made. It's a result of breakthrough innovations across every area of the stack and fundamentally changing what modern computing looks like. We can get really techy of all the things that are in it, and they are jam-packed, so I'm not sure we'll ever sell clear versions of these. But it's less about what's inside, it's more what you can do with it. And we invited creators, tech CEOs, celebrities, and others to demo them. We've done a few hundred demos at this point in time. And one of them made this really fun video that will take you through the full Orion experience.
Phones are not going to be the end of the line. We're not going to be here in the 2030s communicating and using computing devices that are exactly the same as what we have today. And someone has to build that and believe in it.
Meta invented a damn time machine. Hi, Nora. Daddy's calling from the future. I'm wearing these amazing AR glasses that you'll probably use when you grow up.
Over the next 10 years, the form factor is just going to keep on getting smaller and smaller, and eventually we're going to have what looks like normal-looking glasses.
You're looking at the culmination of decades of breakthrough inventions in nearly every field of computing. It's one of the hardest challenges the tech industry's ever attempted. See, Orion is a time machine. It'll let Meta live in the future as they build the next generation of AR experiences. Now let me nerd out for a second, because this is a technological marvel. The display isn't made of glass. It's made of silicon carbide, which delivers an unprecedented 70-degree field of view. That means Meta engineers figured out how to bend light beams in ways it does not like to bend. The frames are made of magnesium, just like an F1 car, because it's light and radiates away heat. I mean, you can't just put a fan in glasses. Orion cools itself by glowing. It uses the same materials NASA uses to cool satellites in space. You have to be absurdly determined to build something like this. But competitiveness runs deep around here. Mark wouldn't even let me beat him at Pong.
But then, of course, the full vision is you just have like a full field of view, holograms, where we're having this conversation in the future, and like I'm sitting on your couch next to you as a hologram, and we're just there, and we have this full sense of presence. Here we are.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention, large holographic displays. The real world is our canvas. Our experiences shouldn't be limited to glowing rectangles. One day soon, we'll once again look up, connected, empowered, and present.
Into Orion. They're not a consumer product yet, but they're really not too far away either. A future where we can bridge distance, where we can bring people together. We bring AI naturally into all parts of our lives, and fundamentally change the way people are able to be present, connected, and empowered as they go through. I really am excited for this. I hope you all are as well. And I thank you for listening to us.